Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today I am going to be working in my art journal and I'm going to be using Sharpies. So I got this brand new set of Sharpies. I don't know what it is about school supplies or Sharpies, but I just love them. I think they're so fun to work with, and I'm super excited to give these a try. So I'm going to just create with Sharpies. We're going to do something super easy that you can recreate in your art journal using your favorite marker or pen of choice. So I'll link this gorgeous set of all of these colors of Sharpies down below so you can check them out. Otherwise, let's go. All right, so in this art journal entry, I am only going to use Sharpie markers. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know I'm not doing anything groundbreaking here. And that's kind of the point. I cannot tell you how many times I get messages that someone loves my art journaling or they're really inspired by art journaling, but they just don't think they could do it, or they don't have the creativity, or a lot of times that they don't have the same supplies that I have. And I just want to encourage you to just give it a try. There are so many times that we just hold ourselves back because we think we have to have certain tools or we think we have to have certain skills, but the only way to get better at something is to just start. Start before you are ready. And that is what I did with art journaling. There are art journaling pages that I love that I create. There are art journaling pages that are just okay, and this one is one of those where, you know, it's not really especially amazing, but it was fun to create. It was relaxing. There's a reason coloring books have become really popular amongst adults, just because the act of coloring is very relaxing, having that rhythmic pattern back and forth. It's just something that I really enjoy doing. And there's something about Sharpies, like I said in the beginning, that just bring me joy. And let me know if I'm like the only one here, but I can't believe school supplies are already coming out in stores because my kids, I feel like, just got out of school. But just seeing a fresh pack of markers is so exciting. So if you are inspired by the supply, just start creating. Don't wait until you have the quote-unquote perfect idea. Don't wait until you've taken a drawing class. Don't wait, just start creating. So far on this page, I'm working on kind of some abstract flowers. They look a little bit like fried eggs to me. That's okay. We're going for abstract flowers, and I wanted to use the Sharpies that were an unusual color for me. So they had some Sharpies that were like these pastel kind of tones. So those are the ones I wanted to focus on. I'm just doing kind of a spray of flowers across the page, very simple, not a lot of detail to them. And then we're going to work on the background. The tricky thing about working with markers as opposed to acrylic paints is that you have to kind of think from the foreground back instead of from the background up, because of course with acrylic paint you can layer, you can put things on top, but in this way I wanted to think of what I needed in the foreground and then I will end up adding the background at the end. So just using a really simple supply is really helping me challenge my creativity in a different way, because I'm looking at the piece of art or the art journaling that I'm making just from a different perspective. And that helps stretch your creativity, which is always a really good benefit of art journaling, at least in my opinion, is that it feels like there's no rules. And so you approach things from different ways. You can turn your art journaling book in different directions. And, you know, you don't always have to keep it like this. You can turn it to the side. You can work on the diagonal. You can kind of do anything you want. And the more you do that, the more it's really going to stretch how your brain is working. Okay, so now that I have all of the main parts of the flowers, you can see that I'm going to add some stems and some leaves. I'm going with this mint green and then like a dark blue color, which is one of my favorite combinations. Mint green and like a deep navy blue, I think, is a gorgeous combination. And I'm just going to add the leaves. Again, I'm kind of working from the top down, and we'll be adding the background in just a bit. So this page is going to end up being just one of the simplest pages that I create, meaning it only has one supply. And have you ever tried to create an art journal page just using one supply, whether it be only acrylic paints or only pencils or only sprays. Let me know in the comments below if you've stretched yourself like that. I think it's a great way. Sometimes we think adding in all the things is a great way to go, and it is. It can be very fun and freeing, but also really limiting yourself as far as supplies goes is another way. Again, just stretching your creativity. Limit your color. Do a monotone page. Limit your supplies. Limit your space that you're working in as far as the size of the page. There's all kinds of ways that you can kind of spark creativity by giving yourself that special challenge. You can see that I have sped this section up because, of course, I'm just filling in the background at this point. I'm using a variety of different blues to create just a fun background effect. Sometimes I am limiting myself to where the stems and the leaves come out as kind of creating a natural line. Sometimes I'm creating my own line. I just wanted kind of organic looking shapes in the background. I didn't want to go for any super defined shape like circles or squares or specific waves or anything like that. So it's a little bit random, but a lot of fun. I went back and forth on whether I wanted to add in some black lines, meaning adding a little bit more dimension or definition, I should say, to the flowers, but I decided not to because one of the things that inspired me was getting to use colors of Sharpies that were a little bit more unusual, and of course I feel like there's nothing quite as classic as a black Sharpie. So I decided to continue to limit myself. We're just going to go with the unusual Sharpie colors and fill in several of the different blues all across this whole page. Once I fill in all of the different blues here, then this page will be done. Like I said, super simple, and I'm actually not going to add any words to this page, which is a little bit unusual for me. I'm not saying I won't ever come back and add words, but I was happy with how it was once I was done with the blue background. So I just want to challenge you today. Stretch yourself by limiting yourself. Change up how you're approaching an art journal entry, change up the supply, the color, the texture, change it up, limit yourself, and see how it kind of forces your creativity to stretch in new and fun ways. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the bell notification button. I will link some fun Sharpies for you to check out down below. Of course, you can find Sharpies anywhere. I'll link some on Amazon in case you are inspired by this Sharpie art. I also want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon members. Thank you all so much. They encourage me to stretch my creativity all the time by sharing their own creative endeavors with me, and I have really been enjoying it. If you want to check out what we have going on over on Patreon, there's all kinds of stuff like extra content and early access to videos, fun challenges, Zoom calls. We are having just a fantastic time over there. So if you want to check that out, then make sure to check out the link to Patreon in the description box below. All right, I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.